Hello and welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name is Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process, because that's what we do here at the Computer Guru Show. My name is Mike, and I need you guys to call me 790-2040. You know what I did this morning? I haven't done in a long time. Slammed an energy drink before the show.
Yeah, I can tell.
Whee!
My name's Mike.
No way. Oh man, I've been sort of on an energy drink hiatus.
Yes, I've noticed that.
And I put that to an end today. That's it.
Should be a good show.
It's all over now.
Hang on, gang.
All right. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. Hold on. 790-2040. Right here on KVOI. Or you can go listen to us online, gurushow.com/listen-live.
There's people in the chat room.
Is there?
Yeah, a few.
I tried to get in there earlier. It was empty. Nobody was responding to me. I felt all alone.
It says you're there.
I'm not. I'll try to get in there during the break.
Okay.
All right. This is your free hour of tech support. If you happen to need answers to any technology questions that have been plaguing you at least since last Saturday, then you should give us a call. We have been doing this sort of series lately on the frequently, almost always repeated things. Mm-hmm. Things that we have to repeat very, very often. And I think we're going to continue that just because, well, I still have a large list.
Yeah. Frequently asked questions.
That's right. It's a fact.
Here on Computer Guru.
Yes, it's the fact series.
Just the facts.
Just
man.
the facts, ma'am.
You need more energy drinks more often.
She told me that she had a virus. Why did that dame have to walk into my office? Anyway,
Wow.
All right, so the thing that we're going to start with this week is multiple antiviruses. Because one antivirus is good, why not three? Right?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Don't do it. Never, ever do that.
They conflict with each other.
They do. They actually fight to the death. Mm-hmm. And
like beta fish.
yeah, it's sort of like beta fish. Imagine you've got two sort of, burly dudes that you've hired to protect you, right? And they both say, I am the only thing that is allowed to get close to you. I will protect you from all other threats. No one else will ever be allowed in the same room as you while I am present. Yet there's two of them.
Yeah.
So they end up fighting with each other. And it turns out that they get a little distracted.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. They're busy beating each other up, and then, well,
Someone else walks in the room.
somebody else walks in. Right. So the analogy that I've used for years now is sort of like the swimming pool, where there's one lifeguard chair, and that's where antivirus is supposed to live. It's the only a place that it's allowed to be so that it can do its job. So, within the Windows ecosystem, that antivirus has to reside in that one space. So if you have more than one antivirus, they're both going to try to occupy the same space. And the way that antivirus works is it's, especially now, is that it's going to look for things that are trying to also occupy that space, because there are a lot of viruses that will pretend to be antivirus. So they'll attack anything that tries to get into that space. And while that's happening, yeah, you're not protected. And not to mention, it really slows down your machine in a big way. There's a gigantic performance impact of having just one antivirus, and you add two, it really gets bad. So, yeah, don't have multiple antivirus. Now, there's a difference between antivirus and anti-malware, because you know that we recommend that everyone have the paid version of Malwarebytes. One of these days I'm going to have to talk to them about getting paid for that.
Yeah, I know.
It is not the same thing. It is not subject to the same rules as far as the space in which it has to occupy. So those two things are complementary. So if you have an antivirus, we say that you should have any free antivirus that you choose and the paid version of Malwarebytes. And that will make your machine somewhat speedy and a whole lot safer. Mm-hmm. So that's what you do. Let's take a call. Let's talk to Kevin. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Hey, Mike, fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm lovely.
Great, but I didn't do any energy drink. This is just me, okay? Kara, so sit tight.
All righty.
All right. So,
I'm ready.
All right, ready? I'm cutting the cable. So they sent me a 200 and whatever the hell it is dollar bill this month. I said, I'm done with these guys. So I go to I'm testing the high-speed internet speed that I'm supposedly paying for from Comcast. My download has been 6.08. My upload's been 5.70 megabytes per second. That's the high-speed hookup. Okay, so I think that's very slow for high speed.
Well, that sounds like a 50 megabit connection.
Okay, so here's what my thoughts are. If I'm trying, okay, so I'm decided to go to Dish TV with a couple of add-ons. If you wanted to get reasonably close to that speed, DSL supposedly on CenturyLink says they're going to get you 20 megabytes per second.
No, megabits.
Megabits per second. Okay.
You really have to do the math when doing the megabits versus doing megabytes.
Okay, so then who would... I know you can't endorse anybody. Can you make a suggestion for reasonable speed connection if I'm trying to match what Comcast has given me up here, and I even hate to use their name on the air?
You are not going to find anything better than cable in Tucson.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the megabits versus megabytes for a second,
please,
so that
yeah.
you understand what's going on there.
Please, yes.
All right, so if you're downloading at 6 megabytes per second,
right,
that's about 50 megabits per second.
Okay.
So every byte is made up of 8 bits.
I got you. Okay.
So what you're going to do is, if you want to know what your actual download speed is going to be,
please, yeah.
you're going to say, all right, I've got this 50 megabit connection, and I'm going to divide by 8.
Okay.
That is your megabyte speed.
Megabyte speed. Okay. All right. So that's getting me confused then. Okay. Obviously, DSL isn't going to match cable up here at all then.
DSL will never match cable anywhere.
Not even close. Okay. They talk about Dish has a Wi-Fi.
No.
They have a. Don't even. Okay.
No.
Don't even waste your time.
Nope.
Okay, so keep the Comcast cable for the internet and dump the TV and just go to the Dish on the TV?
That's what I did. In fact, I didn't even do that. I dumped everything except for the internet, and I watch everything online now.
Okay, you don't even have Dish TV, huh?
I have no TV service in my house.
And you do just fine with it.
I do great with it. I don't have to pay that $100 a month for whatever.
Oh God, it's twice that up here. And so as far as your internet, you do everything through Verizon, or you do that with the cable still? You still use the cable?
At home, I have Comcast for internet.
And down at the office, you probably got Cox or one of those.
Cox at the office. Right.
There's something that the University of Arizona was involved in. There's an experimental program, University of Phoenix and University of Arizona. You're not aware of it? They were supposed to have 1 terabyte per second. It was supposed to be an experimental thing. I searched and searched and searched. There were 20 cities. Tucson and Phoenix were supposed to be in affiliation with a major university.
Right. They're working on terabit per second on a single strand of fiber. And that's what they're working on.
Okay, and to access something like that, there's nobody out there that's selling that right now.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Now, what I would suggest is that everybody you know goes over to fiber.google.com and then express an interest.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, you might as well yell at the city council because they already tried to shut this down once.
Oh, Jesus!
So
they have to say anything. My God, those idiots! I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you talk to them and say, hey, we'd like some Google Fiber around here. Why don't you make it happen?
Okay.
Because if you'll notice, I don't know if you have noticed it at all, but in Phoenix, both Cox and Comcast are offering gigabit internet there at reasonable prices. And you know why? Is because Google Fiber is threatened to go into Tempe.
Okay. So Google fiber.google.com.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Great show. You guys have a great weekend. Okay.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks, sir. Take care. Bye bye.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah.
Google Internet, man. We got to get it down here. I mean, and even not even just to use it, right? Just to bring in a leveraging player into the market.
Competition.
Right? Because right now, Comcast and Cox don't compete. And technically, CenturyLink doesn't compete anywhere. I mean, it's kind of like this, where you're thinking about, you got these two bicycle riders and they're competing against each other, right? Because it's El Tour de Tucson Day.
Yes,
so
it
we
is.
might as well talk about bicycles for a second. So you got these two kind of, heavily muscular bicycle riders that did not skip leg day, and they're blasting down the road. And but they're, as far as Cox and Comcast is concerned, they're on totally different routes. They don't really compete with one another. And then everybody says, well, there's competition. Look at CenturyLink. And then you got this little kid that rolls up on a 3-wheeled, big wheel type thing. That is not competition. Right? It's just not the way it works. I mean, CenturyLink does not have. CenturyLink's terrible, and I get in all kinds of trouble every time I say it. But CenturyLink is terrible. They suck. They're no good at all. They are barely internet. Every time that I go over to a customer's place and they have DSL, I expect to hear the little modem sounds, right? Like, yeah, those, right? Because it's just it is so slow. It's terrible. But you know what isn't terrible? I'll tell you what's not terrible. Perfection Auto Works.
Ah, yes.
All right, that's our beautifully segued sponsor.
Every time. Every time. Awesome segue.
Go down there and check them out. Of course, they're closed today.
Yeah.
But you can go down there on Monday. Their website's always open, perfectionautoworks.com. Check them out. They do a 26-point free inspection. It's free. Costs you nothing. They find out what's wrong with your car. And just, as every week, we'll give you an update. David's car is still wrecked. Go down to perfectionautoworks.com. Listen to their ad. It's coming up next right here on The Computer Guru Show.
Computer troubles? Need some advice? Call in now. Mike Swanson will be back after these messages. The Computer Guru Show, AM 1030, KVOY, The Voice. Your technology guru, Mike Swanson, is answering all your questions one by one.
Yes, science!
So chime in with yours. The website is gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. My name is Mike. Here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. 790-2040.
Whee! More energy drinks. Yay!
No, I'm out. Now I'm just switching to Dr. Pepper.
Still caffeine.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. So we are continuing the frequently repeated things. Frequently, almost always repeated things. And just throw it out there for this week. Do you have a backup? You should probably have one. Backups are important. Make it happen. Because otherwise you're going to lose stuff and cry. And that'll make me sad.
There you go.
And then I'll have to bring you up on the radio.
That's reason enough.
Right.
Right there.
I will invite you here to tell your story about how you lost everything. It'll be like an NPR show. No?
No?
Okay.
No.
All right. So the next item up is, bro, do you even password?
I don't know. Do you?
All right. You got to change your passwords often. All the time. Let me tell you a story.
All right.
So on Thursday. Is it Thursday? It was Thursday. Yeah. So on Thursday, I get this interesting call. It says, hey, Mike. Somebody managed to sort of break into our bank account and attempt to wire $400,000 out of the account.
Oh.
So, do you know what caused this problem?
I'm going to guess a password.
I will tell you that what caused the problem is a little add-on for Internet Explorer that was collecting passwords and sending them outbound.
Yeah, that's no good.
Now, if you were to go ahead and place an importance on your account passwords, well, we're going to say your Netflix password, your banking password, your email password, and your password to your credit card, right? Like if you have a separate credit card. Mm-hmm. Of those, which is the most important one? What do you think?
Email.
Email. Absolutely email. That's the one you've got to keep track of the most.
Because you can always say, I forgot my password. Send it to my email.
That is correct. So there's a central point of failure when it comes to security, and it's usually your email address. And because you're in it all the time, nobody wants to change that password very often. They're just like, oh. You don't even know how many times I hear, I'll say, do you know your email password? And they'll be like, I haven't typed that in years. Literally years. And here's the thing is that people tend to use common passwords, right? They'll have one password or a variant on that password that they use with all of their accounts. Now, you can just ask anybody at my office who is required to type passwords. They hate the way I set up passwords because they're all radically different from one another.
And they're not very memorable, but that's the point.
Yeah, well,
That's the point.
Yeah, they're not dictionary words because those are the first ones to go. So any numeric sequences or dictionary words, or you know how you do that fancy vowel separation with symbols? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the password crackers, they're onto that trick. Right? So those are the first things they try. And it's important that you change your email password often, a lot. And you make sure that email password is radically different from any of the other passwords that you use. Even if you want to use the same password for everything else, right? It's not recommended. But even if you want to use the same password for everything else, your email should have a separate password. And it should be different. And it should change every 30 to 60 days. I mean, there's really no exception for it, right? Just change your password all the time. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a situation where somebody's going to compromise that email account. And depending on how involved or dedicated the person who is breaking into your accounts is, if they can get into your primary email address and they have an idea of the other stuff that you use, like they've already done their research, they know that you use Facebook, they know that you have a Twitter account, LinkedIn, all of these other sort of public social things that they've done their research on, it's entirely possible that they could log into your email account if they figure out the password, reset every other password that you have for all of your other accounts and lock you out of your own digital world and basically assume to be you and say whatever they want or change whatever they want, or in some cases wire $400,000 out of your bank account. So it's very important that you change your passwords. And this is another one of those things where the phishing attacks or the social engineering hacks are what are largely at play here. So if you get an email and it says, hey, your PayPal account is limited right now, it's fake. If you get an email that says and this is the time of year for this, by the way. If you get an email that says, oh, this is UPS or FedEx or the United States Postal Service and your package was not delivered, it's fake. If you get an email, any email that has any type of attachment for you to click on at all, especially a zip, like we get them all the time, where, hey, here's my resume attached in this zip file. No. Don't ever open zip files, ever. And just, you got to be a lot more vigilant, less trusting, especially if it's somebody you know, right? But everybody seems to fall for business owners tend to fall for you've received a Better Business Bureau complaint, right? Which is almost always fake. Or your package wasn't shipped or wasn't delivered. That one's also terrible. And the PayPal one, which is like your account's limited, or there's some really good banking ones that says, they look exactly like your bank saying, oh yeah, you've initiated a transfer for $100,000 out of your account. Mm-hmm. And you click on the link and it says sign in, and it looks exactly like the bank site, or it looks exactly like the United States Postal Service site, or it looks a lot like the site that they're trying to get you to go to, PayPal, whatever. And you're going to put in your username and password, and it will collect that information and then send you on to the real page. Or it'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, that didn't work. Would you like to try again? And then you get all kinds of different variations. They collect multiple passwords. They're like, oh, I thought it was that password.
Yeah, if you're curious, never click on the link. Just physically go to another web browser, type in the address, and look. And more times than not, you're going to see that nothing is wrong with your account whatsoever.
Yeah, almost always. Right. So if you get an account or a notification that says your PayPal account is limited, you open up a browser, you type paypal.com, you hit enter, you log in, and if there is any problem with your account, believe me, you'll know at that point. But don't click on the links in the email because they're not right.
And vary your passwords. The top password for 2015 was 123456. So, no, come on, no.
Now, the other side of that, let's go ahead and play devil's advocate here, right? I'm going to go ahead and just do the other side of that. If you're lazy with your passwords, you kind of deserve it, right? So just stop being lazy. And the passwords there's all kinds of different methods that you can use to generate passwords, right? You can use all kinds of different types of password utilities, which are great in this type of case because then there's no keyboard input. Mm-hmm. So let's say that you have a password utility. You can just go in and tell it generate a password, and it will make a 32-character password or whatever that's very difficult, and it will type it in for you. You never have to remember it. And then, a month or two later, you go in and say, change password. You generate a new password. It's super easy. Don't be lazy. Protect your passwords. They're really important. In the meantime,
we're
going to take a break.
All right.
That's what we do. We're lazy.
Take breaks.
We take breaks.
And type in 123456.
All right. The password to listen to the next segment of the show, 123456.
Your computer guru, Mike Swanson, is here to help you tame that beast of a machine. Join the chat right now at gurushow.com or call in. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOY, The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOI, The Voice.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. My name is Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. 790-2040. That is 520-790-2040.
Woo.
Well, third one. I managed to pull it off today.
There you go.
It only took 3 tries. All right. If you have any questions for us, give us a call. We will help you out with whatever technology issues you happen to be having. In the meantime, we are revisiting all of the things that we have to repeat all the time, or just things that get repeated enough that I figured deserved their own special mention.
Yes.
Let's talk about limited lifespans.
Okay.
All right. Hard drives. They
Yes.
do not last forever.
No.
They have an average lifespan of about 3 to 3.5 years.
Yes.
So if your computer in any, whatever it is, laptop, desktop, if it doesn't have a solid state drive in it, it's likely to fail somewhere around the 3.5-year mark.
Keep that in mind.
Yes, you should. Now, if it happens to live longer than that, because a lot of people will say, I've got a 7-year-old or I've got a 14-year-old Compaq and it's still running. Consider yourself lucky. Do you have a backup? All right. But if it's over the 3.5-year mark, you're going to see performance issues. It's going to slow down. It's going to probably fail.
This is what happens in computer old age.
That's right. Now, it doesn't mean that they will actually last that long either.
Right.
For instance, have you bought a Dell? A cheap Dell? A really cheap Dell?
Dude.
Let's say that you got a Black Friday special a year ago. It's probably already almost dead. Mm-hmm. Right? They just use really, really cheap components in the really, really cheap computers. This is why you do not buy disposable computers. One simply does not buy a disposable computer.
Well, you could throw it into the lava at Mordor.
You could. But I'm going to just go ahead and say, if you've got a machine that's around 3 years old, 3 to 4, somewhere in there, it's time to start looking at replacing drives.
Like this one.
Right. Speaking of that one, this is Tara's terrible laptop.
It's not terrible.
It's not
It's
terrible.
just old.
It is old. How about laptop batteries? How long do they last? Laptop batteries last approximately 2 years. 2 years. That's it.
He's very right on this.
So, and there's lots of people that are just like, well, whatever. It doesn't hold a charge. I will just keep using it. Let me tell you what you're up against here. If you have a Toshiba or certain models of Dell or just about any Sony or all of the plastic Macs, the older ones, and you have not replaced the battery on it, you are likely, if you've got a Toshiba, to burn your house down. With most of the Dells, you're pretty likely to blow up the charging circuits on the machine, and the machine will never function again, ever. If you have one of those Macs, the battery's going to swell up and make it so the keyboard and mouse don't work properly, and potentially start a fire. So you should replace the battery in your laptop every couple of years. Now, most people may be thinking, do you know how much those batteries cost? And I'll tell you right now, I absolutely do. Most of the batteries are somewhere around $40. So if you can make a $20 a year investment in your computer to keep your house from burning down, I suggest that you do it. You spend more than that on renters or homeowners insurance anyway. I'm just saying, you don't want to blow up your computer.
And I got lucky. I didn't blow up my computer.
And
or
yours
my
won't.
house.
The Lenovo's won't do that.
Yeah. But I was driving here from my house
Right.
and basically rushing into the building to get it to any outlet because it's beeping at me. You have 10% left. And literally within 5 seconds, you have 7% left. I'm like, no.
Right? So, yeah.
It was bad juju.
There are things that fail, right? Batteries is one of them. Hard drives is another. These are like, we'll consider those wear parts. It's like the belts and wipers on your car.
What about graphics cards?
Graphics cards, not so much. Routers, though, fail
Yes.
every couple of years.
have experience
about
with
every
that.
3 years, you're going to experience a router failure. Graphics cards, unless you're overclocking, pushing really hard, your computer lives in a box like a lot of people put them in the little credenza type
Yeah.
thing with the door that closes. If you have one of those where your machine is suffocated and doesn't cool properly, it will dramatically shorten the lifespan of all of the hardware, including the video card. Or
Good
if
to know.
it's super dusty, or if it's full of cat hair,
Well, we're in Arizona, so dusty is.
or you clean it with Pledge.
Oh, no.
We had one customer do that.
No.
He said, "Should I clean out my computer? It's kind of dusty in there." And I said, "Sure." Then he came in a week later. He's like, "My computer doesn't work after I cleaned it out." And I looked in there, and it was so shiny.
Oh, no.
But it smells lemon.
It was lemon fresh. It was amazingly clean in there. Except for, guess what? Pledge doesn't work on computers.
And don't use a vacuum either.
No vacuums either, especially if it has a plastic hose on it. No vacuums. None.
Friction equals static.
That's right.
There you go.
Let's talk to Mark. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, that sounds like another one for your book, right? The Lemon Pledge computer story.
That's right.
Anyway, I wanted to really compliment you on your little blurb about the Windows telemetry. It was probably the most interesting thing I've heard in a long time. And my question for you is there any of those telemetry functions that you consider essential to make sure that they are working?
No.
None, okay.
No, I don't think any of them are essential. Now, there's a problem in Windows 10 if you disable updates, which the links that I sent you or put on the Facebook post also disable Windows updates. And in Windows 10, if you disable Windows updates for a prolonged period of time, it puts that copy of Windows in a special mode, which basically says you haven't gotten any updates in a long time and you're probably a security risk. But other than that, no, I don't think any of them are essentials. I mean, I would leave Windows updates on if it were me.
Yeah, well, my historical detection of symptoms has been that, after we kind of got into this new era of the Windows Vista, Windows 7, and the like, the computer boots up, and it almost takes 30 minutes for it to calm down. Otherwise, it's just constantly thrashing and thinking and communicating and doing a bunch of stuff on its own.
That's an awfully long time.
It does, right. And then after about 30 minutes, it settles down and performs kind of like, I'd say, the old-style computers. And it's been pretty consistent with that, and so I'm thinking that it may be at least some of these telemetry functions that it's spending a lot of time and effort on.
Well, all right, so I can't rule that out completely, but I will say that most of the telemetry functions do not happen unless the machine is in an idle state.
Yeah.
So I would suggest if you really have that much delay, that you are either memory starved on the machine or you've got some type of a drive problem that is slowing things down to the point where it takes that long. Your boot up time to idle should be under 3 minutes.
Right.
No matter what computer you're on, even if it's a slow computer. So I would be looking at other things.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try all those regular type things too, which is, like make sure we either, put in a clean, good running hard drive to make sure that's not part of it and things like that.
Go solid state, man. Solid state.
Yeah, I know. I did one of those, and it actually, from you, actually worked out good. So
excellent. I'm glad to hear.
Yep. Actually, that
you
worked
should
out real
leave
good.
me a review on Facebook that says that I'm awesome. Or something.
Something like that, right? Yeah, we'll put something there. And anyway, and I did want to remind you that yesterday was the final day of the red light camera contract.
Well,
and there is no relationship between the city of Tucson and American Traffic Solutions anymore.
Well, that's good news.
And they should be picking up their toys and leaving town here very shortly.
I was wondering if they're just going to give those away.
They're so crazy. They're giving them away.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate the call.
See you guys. All right. Good show. Bye.
All right. So, yeah, telemetry data is not likely to be causing that type of delay.
Mm-hmm.
No. There's something else going on with that machine.
That's a huge delay.
Right. Or his clock is wrong, and he's really saying 3 minutes is 30.
I'm going to highly doubt that.
It could be his clock is just really, really fast.
Could be.
Confusing seconds for minutes, maybe? No, probably not. All right, so you just can't rule anything out. You got to make sure that you're being a good investigator.
Yeah, it's attention to detail.
Attention to detail. We're going to examine that after the break.
Yes.
We'll be right back, right here on the Computer Guru Show.
Whether you're dealing with hardware installation or, heaven forbid, a virus,
No!
Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one. So call in or chat in with yours. The website, gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030 KVOY The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. Tara's like destroying my faith in humanity during the break. There is
Excuse me.
There's so much advanced stupid on the internet. I'm just saying.
Well, it's the title is 22 people on social media who will make you cringe.
It did.
Yeah.
My goodness. There's. Can you? We have to put the link in the show notes. It's so bad. Just the things people do on Facebook and Twitter that is. And I like the one with the credit card. Right. So the guy takes a picture, check out my new credit card, and then somebody asks him for the numbers in the back, and he gives it up, and then the next post is, I had to cancel my other card because people, got, abused. Here's the new one. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
I don't know why.
So dumb. All right. Pick one over there. Pick one of the phone calls there. All right, Ramona.
Hi.
How can I help you?
Well, I had Windows 7 on my CPU, and I changed it to Windows 10. Had internet service provider guy come over, and we've been trying to figure out if it's the cable. They redid all the cables. Got my modem and my router together, and everything else works. My phone.
But no internet on your Windows 10 machine, right?
Right, and it's on my laptop, and I know I have Wi-Fi.
Which antivirus do you have?
Which what?
Which antivirus do you have on the computer?
Wait. What is it called?
I bet you it's called Norton.
AVG.
No?
Oh, no, I don't use Norton.
Okay,
Norton. No.
All right, so was AVG on the computer prior to the upgrade?
Yes, it was. And it actually worked for a while.
Yeah,
It really did.
It's still
and
your
then I had
antivirus.
the Ethernet plugged in. I unplugged the wireless because I thought maybe that's interfering.
Nope.
And so I'm on the settings page now with the username, password, connection. Do I have to go through that all again?
No, uninstall AVG.
Uninstall AVG.
Yep.
Okay.
And your internet
For real?
will miraculously start working.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank
if
you.
you're thinking about doing the Windows 10 upgrade, anyone, you have to uninstall your antivirus before you do the upgrade. Otherwise, you are likely to see this type of problem.
Wow.
So if that doesn't
Cool.
work, now, let me tell you what happens here is that the way that the antiviruses interact with Windows 7 is different than they interact with Windows 10 as far as how the internet is concerned, Ethernet.
Sure.
So
I
there's
should've
some
figured
changes
that out.
that get made. However, now that this has happened, you may have a broken stack, which means, and the stack is the thing that gets you to the internet. If the stack is broken and uninstalling doesn't fix it, because when you uninstall it, it replaces the original stack, puts it back. If that doesn't work, you're going to have to use one of your other computers to download a tool from Microsoft, and you can download this tool, put it on a memory stick, and it's called the Microsoft Fix-It for Network Stack. So if you just search Microsoft Fix-It for Network Stack, it will download a little utility that you can put on the stick, run it on that computer, and it rebuilds the network stuff for that computer.
Oh, good God. Okay.
If not,
So
you can
Microsoft
bring it down to
Fix-It
Computer
from-
Guru and we can fix it.
No, I think I'm capable of doing that because that's how my husband used to do.
Come on, I need the money. It's all right.
Oh, I know. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Craig, for filling me in this show. I didn't know you guys were on, so
Well,
great. Thank you so much.
Listen to that, first-time listener.
Woo.
Whee!
Yeah. Woohoo.
Thanks for the call, Ramona. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, next we're going to talk to Greg. Hello, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. Over here in one corner, I've got a Dell Dimension 4500. It's a desktop. And
sorry.
A few weeks back, the screen went completely black, and I got frustrated with it, although it has a lot of stuff in it that I need for the work that I do with my nonprofit organization. So now I acquired a second HP computer over here. Is there a way to get whatever I have in the files on that other blackened screen computer and put it on this one?
Yes.
Okay, and then how does a person do it? Is something I need you to do for me, or can I do it?
I mean, you could do it. All right, so how do I want to tell you to do this? All right, how comfortable are you on the inside of that computer? If you were to
I've
take the
changed-
screws out and...
Yeah, I've changed cards before and things.
All right, well, there's an adapter you can get that will allow you to plug the hard drive from the old computer in to your new computer as an external drive.
Okay.
So there's a USB adapter for that. They typically run around $40 or $50 for the adapter, and then you have a neat little tool that you can do that type of thing with in the future.
Well, then the best way is just to come down to you because you wouldn't charge me much more than that to do it for me.
Yeah, or you can bring it to me, and data transfers are $75.
Sounds great.
And
you.
and you know, I remember that you've been calling the show for years, Greg.
And not only that, you used one of my calls for a promotion.
Yeah, you're in one of my demo reels. But send me an email, radio@azcomputerguru.com, because there's things I want to talk with you about.
You got it, my friend.
Appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Good deal.
Yeah, data transfer, $75. And guess what? That means he has a backup of his data at that point, because we're going to give him his old drive back with his data on it.
And he doesn't have to worry about messing anything up.
That's right. We could even probably just fix the black screen on his old computer so he has two.
There you go.
There you go. That's what we do.
Bam.
Fix things. We fix things.
Yes.
All right. So last thing on the frequently almost always repeated things for the day is power strips. Because power surges happen, right? We live in Tucson.
Yep.
And the highly skilled Tucson Electric Power is very likely monopolizing and not running your power very well. So you probably get frequent power outages if you live anywhere like near downtown, which is where we see most of them. Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, I have this power strip. Power strips do not protect your equipment at all. They protect you from lightning rolling into your house and killing you. That is it. They also will protect your house from like a dead short. All right. So let's say that you've got your favorite bath toy, you've got the toaster plugged in and you drop it in, right? The power strip is designed to interrupt that circuit before either you get electrocuted a lot or your house catches on fire. They do not protect your equipment at all. So if you want something that protects your equipment, you're going to have to get something called an uninterruptible power supply. And so how do you know if you have an uninterruptible power supply? One, your power strip will be very, very heavy.
Yes.
Because it has big batteries in it. And
It's huge.
And if it costs less than, let's say, $70, it's not.
No.
No. If you got it at Walmart for $7, it is not protecting your equipment in any way. In fact, if you get anything at Walmart, it's not protecting your equipment in any way.
Pretty much.
Okay. Or humanity.
Well, they do have good prices.
They have good prices. Well, okay. It's
As
time to
far
mention
as-
our sponsors. Let's go ahead and talk about Perfection Auto Works one more time. They've been running the commercials during the show. We are grateful for their sponsorship. We appreciate them being a part of this show and helping to keep it on the air. So go to Perfection Auto Works, check them out. The other options that you have for sponsorship is Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Guru Show, and you can pledge as little as $1 a month to help keep the show on the air, help us pay the bills here, because it's not free, and I don't get paid to do this. Believe me, I don't get paid to do this. I very much a lot don't get paid to do this. So go to patreon.com/Guru Show and help us out there. Want to see if we can squeeze Pat in here? Hey, Pat.
Hey, Mike.
It's got to be really quick here because we're right up against the end of the show.
Is there anything legitimate about a Fire Stick for watching TV?
Yep, you should get one. They're awesome.
Oh, okay. And on your podcast is the thing that you started out this morning, and I missed it, about the security for the Windows 10. Is that going to be on there?
Sure. GuruShow.com. You can check out all the podcasts.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate
You've
the
got
call,
a great
Pat.
show. Bye-bye.
And you know who else supports us on Patreon?
Desert Pro Commercial Cleaning LLC. We don't cut corners, we clean corners, and you can find them at TucsonDesertPro.com.
They do a great job cleaning your corporate location. So if you happen to have a place that needs cleaning, you go ahead and give them a call. Go visit their website, or you can call us and let us know, and we'll get you in touch with them. They clean our Eastside location. You want to see an example of their work? Go visit the Eastside location, 64 North Harrison, or you can visit us at our primary location at 510 East Fort Lowell. Thank you very much for listening to the Computer Guru Show this week. We very much appreciate your listenership, and we look forward to seeing you next week.